Hey team, Coach Jess here, just filming a quick little video to go over some of the basics of metabolism with you. I want to share some of the cool research that's come out in the past couple years and kind of summarize what we really know about metabolism and what we're learning directly predicts and affects your metabolism. Now, as you can see on these diagrams here, metabolism is complicated, but I am going to just skim the surface today with you guys and hopefully be able to break down some of the basics with you today. Okay, so let's start with this basic question, shall we? What is metabolism? One way to define it is to call metabolism the series of chemical reactions that include the conversion of food into energy. So to put it simply, metabolism helps get food into energy that your body can actually use. Now, you have over 37 trillion different cells in your body, and these are really the powerhouses that are conducting many of these reactions. And all of these cells are really working hard to keep you going. And the work that they're doing takes energy. And so you can also consider metabolism to be a measure of cellular activity that's going on in your body. In addition, you can also consider metabolism to be the energy that you expend each day. So we have a basic definition of metabolism, and we can kind of use that to help us define what our metabolic rate is. So if metabolism includes all of the cellular processes in your body that are keeping you alive and functioning, your metabolic rate is the amount of energy your body uses to maintain all of those processes. And we can actually get this number for ourselves using the in-body scan analysis that you guys all have access to as Double Edge members. Your estimated basal metabolic rate, your BMR, that's going to be the number of calories that you burn as your body is performing basic or basal life-sustaining functions. So this is also commonly referred to as resting metabolic rate, or RMR, which is, again, just the calories you're going to burn if you stayed in bed all day and did absolutely nothing. And you can find this here on this highlighted box on the in-body scan printout. So this random individual here happens to burn over 1,900 calories a day simply from just existing. And that's not including the calories that they're going to burn as they're moving their body throughout the day. All right, so let's get into some myths here. Here are some of the common phrases that we hear about metabolism. Males can eat whatever they want because they have way faster metabolism than females. I'm in my 40s and I can't eat like I used to, like I was in my 20s, because my metabolism is so much slower now. Or I need to do cardio every single day to boost my metabolism. So I'm going to summarize some research for you guys that kind of touches each of these myths. And this research was highlighted in one of the 2021 editions of the Scientific American. And please note that what I'm going to share with you today are just some statistically backed general results. There are always exceptions to the rule. There are always outliers. There is a ton of individual variation when it comes to metabolic rates, but this research is very elegant. It's very well done. It's a combined effort from multiple research groups around the world. They had over 6,000 individual participants ranging in age from 8 days old to 90 years old. And with that huge sample size, with that large number of participants, they were really able to get some pretty incredible and pretty statistically backed and interesting results. So let's go through this. What do the data tell us about metabolism? So this research group measured total daily energy expenditure, which you can see on the y-axis here. And you can consider that calories burned per day. And then they measured the fat-free mass of all of the individual participants. Fat-free mass includes your body's water, your organs, your bone, and your muscle content. So what did they see? Let's start by looking at our smallest group of humans here in yellow, infants. They have low fat-free body mass, which makes sense. They're very little. And so they also have low total energy expenditure, and that's absolutely to be expected. Now, adults, which you can find here in blue from ages 20 to 60, they burn a lot more energy, and they're therefore going to need more calories than infants. And adults with even more fat-free mass seem to burn even more energy than smaller adults. So the major takeaway here is that in general, metabolic rate increases with body size that is controlled for fat tissue. But if we really want to know how active our cells are and whether metabolism gets faster or slower as we grow up and as we grow old, we kind of need to separate the effects of age and size. And that's actually quite challenging to do, but this research study was able to do it very well. And so here they are going to plot relative total daily energy expenditure by age. Okay, now these are some of my favorite results here. Metabolic rates are much higher in children, and that makes sense. Their cells are working very, very hard to grow and develop them as a human. And so they're going to have slightly higher energy demands. But let's look at the shapes on these graphs that are going to denote male and female participants. Do we see a difference in these male and females? No. Now, let's look at age. Do we see a decrease in your metabolic rate in your 30s, in your 40s, or even in your 50s? No, you don't. So what does this mean? This means that there are no differences among metabolic rates in males and females when you control for body fat percentage. This also means that there is no change in your metabolic rates until about the age of 60. Whew. So what this means for us is that we kind of got to own up and we got to stop blaming our slowing metabolism. That's likely not happening unless you have some sort of metabolic disease or, again, are one of these outliers that are exceptions to the rule. Likely not happening until you're reaching the age of 60. So let's kind of go back to some of our common phrases here. Males can eat whatever they want. They have faster metabolism than females. That's just not true. When you control for body fat percentages, males and females have the exact same metabolic rate. Our next myth, I'm in my 40s and I can't eat like I used to when I was in my 20s because my metabolism is so much slower. Again, once we control for body fat percentages, your metabolism is not going to be slowing down until you're around the age of 60. And then this commonly heard phrase here, I need to do cardio every day to boost my metabolism. This is busted as well. Now, I didn't show these particular results. Burning more calories throughout the day by running all day or biking all day, that's not actually going to change your metabolic rate. And maybe we can have another video and check in about the difference between a weight loss goal and a metabolic goal. And I am not here to knock any form of cardiovascular exercises. I promote it. I do it. I love it. It's incredibly important. It's just not the main predictor of your metabolic rate. So what is? Skeletal muscle mass is the single strongest predictor of daily energy expenditure, which means your metabolic rate is determined by how much skeletal muscle mass you have on your body. More muscle is going to lead to a faster metabolic rate, which means you're going to burn more calories throughout the day doing absolutely nothing. So, our basic recommendations here at Double Edge, we're going to encourage you to lift weights. We're going to encourage you to eat a hell of a lot of protein. And hopefully that is going to lead to you having a really healthy metabolic rate. It is so, so important to pack on muscle mass when you are able, and then try and maintain that muscle mass while you are aging. One of the reasons why people do seem to have different energy expenditures throughout the day is directly due to how much muscle they seem to have on their body. So lift weights, eat a lot of protein, have a healthy metabolic rate. Thank you guys for tuning in. I love you guys. Stay strong and keep at it.